You're not tired because your body is weak. You're tired because your energy is leaking. And 400 years ago, Miyamoto Musashi discovered exactly where it leaks from and how to seal it instantly. Think about it. How many mornings do you wake up already exhausted? How many days feel like you're pushing your mind through mud no matter how much you sleep, rest, or try to recharge? Most people think fatigue is physical, but Musashi believed something very different. Energy is not lost. It is wasted on overthinking, on emotional friction, on scattered attention, on invisible battles happening inside the mind. In this video, we explore Musashi's energy method, a forgotten warrior principle that helps you stop draining your life force and start restoring your natural power. If you've been feeling tired, unfocused, or mentally heavy, this ancient method may be the truth you've been missing. Before we begin, tell me in the comments, what drains your energy the most? Your thoughts, your emotions, or your environment? Your answer might help someone else on the same journey. Most people think tiredness comes from lack of sleep or physical exhaustion. But Musashi believed fatigue begins in the mind long before it reaches the body. He taught that a person becomes tired when their attention fractures, when the mind pulls energy in 100 different directions. So the real question is not why am I tired? It's where is my energy escaping? Musashi observed that warriors didn't collapse from battle. They collapsed from thinking about battle, worry, hesitation, self-doubt. These were the true enemies that drained a person long before the blade ever did. And in our modern lives, the same pattern repeats. We exhaust ourselves through internal noise more than external action. Musashi calls this state the mind clogged with unnecessary movement. When your mind lives in tomorrow, your energy abandons today. Musashi wrote that forcing your mind forward creates a constant, subtle tension, one that feels like heaviness, low motivation, and mental fog. You're not physically tired. You're stretched thin by possibilities that haven't even happened. The warrior path begins by returning your awareness to the present moment. Musashi believed emotions themselves aren't the problem, it's the resistance to them that drains us. When you suppress anger, hide anxiety, or fight sadness, you create an internal pressure that eats your strength. He called this the silent battle, the battle no one sees but everyone loses. Your energy drains not from feeling, but from fighting what you feel. Musashi noticed that a distracted mind tires faster than a body running uphill. When your attention jumps between tasks, screens, and thoughts, your energy fractures like light passing through broken glass. He taught that a warrior must keep the mind on one thing, one direction, one intention, because scattered attention burns energy. But single direction creates power. Most people are unaware of the countless battles their mind fights every day. Arguments replayed, worries over nothing, future anxieties, old regrets, all silently drain energy. Musashi observed that the battlefield isn't always outside. Sometimes, the fiercest duels occur within, fought by thoughts and emotions that demand attention, yet yield no result. When you recognize these invisible battles, you can begin strategically disengaging. Let go of the conflicts that never needed to exist. Energy that was wasted on imagined struggles begins to flow back into your body, revitalizing every movement, every thought, every action. In the heat of battle, Musashi focused completely on one thing, the immediate action in front of him. No distraction, no hesitation, no energy lost on unnecessary loops. He understood that scattered attention is like water leaking through a cracked vessel. Even the strongest reservoir dries out if it isn't sealed. Apply this principle to your life. One task, one thought, one decision at a time. Conserve energy by refusing to fragment your mind. The simplest focus multiplies energy, turning exhaustion into efficiency. A single-pointed mind is a full-energy mind. Musashi taught that the real enemies are often unseen. Emotional resistance, suppressing anger, hiding fear, pretending confidence when none exists. These invisible efforts are heavier than any physical weight. Every suppressed emotion creates friction inside, slowly burning energy like a candle in a drafty room. The method is simple, yet revolutionary. Accept what you feel, but do not let it control your energy. Feel, acknowledge, release. This transforms exhaustion into clarity, tension into flow. A calm emotional landscape becomes a fertile ground for energy to thrive. Musashi knew that tension ignored becomes stored in the body. Your shoulders tighten, your spine stiffens, your breath shallows. Every moment you resist, your muscles lock, and your mind tires faster than your body could ever fail. Rest is meaningless if mental and emotional clutter remain. A warrior's practice isn't just physical training, it's the continual release of stored tension. By connecting awareness with the body, energy returns naturally, effortlessly. The body becomes the channel through which revitalization flows, not a vessel weighed down by unseen burdens. The human mind is a master illusionist. It convinces you that thinking is harmless, that planning, imagining, worrying these are neutral. But Musashi saw the truth. Overthinking is a silent thief, slowly draining energy minute by minute. Every scenario imagined, every what-if rehearsed, every problem solved in imagination before action, consumes the life force that could fuel present clarity. The energy you waste in mental loops cannot be regained through sleep or rest. It must be reclaimed through awareness, intentional focus, and strategic release. Once you realize this, the pathway to renewed energy becomes clear, and the tiredness that haunted your days begins to dissolve. Musashi taught that a warrior must cultivate the ability to step back and watch the mind without attachment. This inner observer sees the flow of thoughts without being pulled into every drama or worry. When you watch rather than react, energy is conserved. Imagine a stream. If you try to hold every leaf, the water slows and stagnates. If you simply watch, the current moves freely, carrying life along effortlessly. Your mind, when observed, stops wasting energy on imagined battles and begins to channel it into what truly matters. And in that observation lies a quiet power, the first step to feeling alive again. In battle, Musashi cut decisively. In life, the principle is the same. Cut the noise in your mind. That constant chatter, the looping fears, the shoulds and musts that never end. Each is a tiny energy drain. A decisive mental cut is the difference between exhaustion and vitality. It's not about ignoring reality, it's about slicing away distractions with precision. Once the noise is gone, your mind becomes a blade, sharp, focused, and unstoppable. Energy flows like water once the dam is removed. Musashi entered the flow state naturally. He called it being fully present, fully alive, fully aligned. Energy is no longer leaking when every action, thought, and breath is in harmony. The flow state is not a reward, it is a natural consequence of energy mastery. When the mind, body, and emotion converge, tiredness evaporates. This is the principle he practiced silently, a method anyone can adopt. The tiredness you feel is not permanent, it is a sign that alignment is waiting. We underestimate tiny stressors, minor inconveniences, small frictions, unresolved emails, half-finished tasks. Musashi would call these micro-battles. Individually, they feel insignificant. Together, they crush vitality. Energy leaks in small, unnoticed ways. By attending to microstress, consciously acknowledging, processing, releasing, you prevent invisible fatigue from accumulating. This is how warriors maintain strength over decades of battle and meditation alike. Energy management is subtle, yet transformative. Rest is not mere inactivity. It is intentional energy replenishment. Musashi didn't rest by lying down alone, he reset. He aligned. He released tension consciously. Each pause was a reclaiming of stolen energy, a restoration of vitality. Modern rest often fails because the mind continues its relentless loops. Musashi teaches us, True rest is a state of calm, focused, aligned attention, where mental leaks are sealed. In this space, energy flows freely, fatigue melts, and clarity rises like the morning sun. When you rest this way, even short pauses recharge you far more than hours of passive sleep. Musashi understood that energy flows when mind, body, and breath are aligned. The samurai walk was a practice of subtle awareness, slow, deliberate steps, synchronized with deep, calm breathing. Each step grounded the warrior in the present, each breath restored inner balance. In modern life, we rush through our routines, scattering energy with each distracted motion. Adopt the samurai walk in small ways. Pause, breathe, move intentionally, and notice how energy returns almost immediately. Even a few minutes of conscious movement can release hours of hidden fatigue, reconnecting you with your innate vitality. Musashi discarded all unnecessary labels, all burdens of identity. He knew that clinging to who you should be, or who others expect you to be, drains energy silently, but relentlessly. Every mask, every forced behavior, every self-imposed expectation is a leak in your life force. By letting go, you reclaim energy reserved for authenticity. The less you carry of others' expectations, the more your mind, body, and spirit remain vibrant and awake. Energy doesn't flow where you are pretending, it flows where you are truly present. Decision-making is a subtle drain on energy, often unnoticed. Musashi simplified his choices, reducing unnecessary mental clutter. Every small choice you delay, every hesitation, every maybe consumes power. Streamline your decisions. What truly matters, act decisively. What doesn't, release it. When you reduce mental friction, your vitality increases naturally. The clarity of mind that emerges is not just a byproduct, it is a source of renewed energy, fueling every step forward. Clinging to the past, to grudges, to failed expectations, silently drains your vitality. Musashi's wisdom was simple: release what is not yours to carry. Letting go does not mean weakness, it is strategic energy management. Every time you release unnecessary tension, your body relaxes, your mind clears, and energy flows back in. This is the ultimate secret of stamina, knowing what to carry and what to leave behind. Energy is always waiting for the moment you decide to return it to yourself. Musashi observed that overthinking is the enemy you cannot see. It feeds on your attention, saps vitality, and leaves you feeling perpetually exhausted. Every what if, every replayed conversation, every imagined failure consumes more than any physical effort ever could. Your body may rest, but your mind continues its draining loops. The samurai method stops this cycle by cutting decisively through unnecessary thoughts, observing without attachment, and returning fully to the present. Energy that once vanished into imagined worlds now fills your body, sharpens your focus, and restores your natural strength. This is why you feel tired, and why it can end once you reclaim your mind. Musashi constantly emphasized returning to the center, the point within where all energy stabilizes. In life, your attention drifts to the past, to the future, to worries, to distractions. Each drift leaks vitality like water through a cracked vessel. When you intentionally bring your focus back to the center, the mind calms, tension fades, and energy floods back. The center is not a place. It is a state of alignment, where thought, emotion, and action converge effortlessly. Every warrior, every master of energy, knows this secret. The center is where power begins and fatigue ends. Most fatigue comes from what you ignore: subtle irritations, half-completed tasks, silent expectations, unspoken conflicts. These drains are invisible, yet relentless. Musashi taught that awareness of these subtle leaks is the first step toward reclaiming energy. By noticing where energy slips through your fingers, you can consciously seal the holes. Even small adjustments, handling minor issues immediately, releasing unneeded tension, accumulate immense power over time. Your vitality is not fixed. It is waiting for your attention to redirect it. Just as physical posture determines strength and endurance, mental posture shapes your energy. Leaning into worry or anticipation tenses your mind. Sinking into regret locks your body into fatigue. Musashi's wisdom: maintain upright, centered mental posture. Breathe fully, observe without judgment, and direct attention deliberately. Energy will follow this alignment naturally, restoring clarity and reducing the heavy weight of life's unseen burdens. Not every battle requires your attention. Musashi knew that sometimes the wisest choice is to step back, to observe, and to conserve energy. Engaging only where necessary prevents unnecessary exhaustion. Every unnecessary struggle consumes vitality that could fuel growth, clarity, and focus. Learning when to act and when to release is the true mastery of energy. Energy flows where it is respected and fades where it is wasted. Have you noticed that mental fatigue feels physical? That heaviness in your limbs, that sluggishness in your step, that tension in your spine? Musashi observed that the nervous system treats overthinking as if action were being taken. Every imagined battle, every scenario rehearsed in your mind, triggers your body to prepare, tighten, and expend energy unnecessarily. By calming the mind, focusing attention, and releasing imagined struggles, the body relaxes and energy returns. Your tiredness is not a flaw. It is a signal to reclaim control over where your life force flows. Musashi taught that the eyes are gateways to energy. When your gaze is hard, tense, or scattered, the mind mirrors it. Softening the eyes softens internal pressure, relaxes muscles, and restores energy flow. Even a brief pause with gentle awareness of sight can melt tension accumulated from hours of distraction. Your vision is not just physical, it is energetic. Observe the world softly and your mind, body, and spirit will follow, moving effortlessly back into alignment. Every human has the same hidden truth: energy is a precious currency. Musashi warned that unconsciously giving it away to worries, to unnecessary interactions, to imagined threats leaves you depleted. Conscious awareness is the first step to reclaiming what is yours. Protect your focus, your attention, your presence. Every act of reclaiming energy strengthens the mind-body connection. Once you truly recognize that energy belongs to you, you stop leaking it and start multiplying it. Energy mastery is subtle. Musashi practiced the economy of thought, motion, and emotion. Every movement, every thought, every emotional response is deliberate and purposeful. Waste nothing. Each saved fraction of energy compounds into immense power over time. The tiredness you feel is often caused by energy that could have been conserved. By following the principle of economy, you experience renewed vitality with every decision, every breath, every action. Musashi distinguished between physical fatigue and spiritual fatigue. Most people treat only the first: sleep, exercise, diet, but the second is silent and persistent. Spiritual fatigue comes from unresolved thoughts, emotional tension, and attention scattered across unnecessary concerns. Addressing only the body will never replenish true energy. Musashi's method restores the inner reservoir first, allowing the body to recharge effortlessly. When spiritual energy flows, physical strength follows naturally. Holding onto grudges, regrets, or imagined failures silently drains vitality. Musashi taught that letting go is an act of strategic energy recovery. Release what cannot serve you, and the energy once trapped in resistance returns to your system. Every release lightens the mind, relaxes the body, and revitalizes your spirit. This is not weakness. It is mastery over the invisible forces that steal your strength each day. Your energy is not gone, it is waiting for your conscious return. Musashi observed that rest without mental clarity is wasted. You can lie down for hours, yet wake still heavy, still drained. The mind continues its loops, the internal battles rage quietly, and energy never returns. True rest is intentional. is the conscious release of tension, the deliberate turning inward, the calming of mental noise. When body and mind align, rest becomes regeneration. Even brief pauses practiced with awareness can recharge the entire system, restoring vitality far faster than unintentional inactivity ever could. Musashi knew that not every situation demands action. Sometimes, the most powerful choice is to let life unfold, to conserve energy by avoiding unnecessary interference, fighting what cannot be changed, reacting to every stimulus, or over-controlling circumstances leads to invisible exhaustion. The warrior's wisdom is subtle. Act decisively where necessary, release where possible. By doing less, you gain more energy, clarity, and presence. Energy flows naturally when not wasted on resistance. Force creates friction. Friction burns energy. Musashi taught that effort without alignment exhausts more than it empowers. When you allow life, thoughts, and actions to flow naturally, energy returns effortlessly. This principle applies to work, creativity, relationships, and thought. Stop fighting the current, move with it, and strength that once felt distant becomes tangible. The flow state is your energy reclaimed. Musashi practiced an internal mantra, here, now. This simple phrase anchored attention, released unnecessary energy leaks, and instantly restored focus. Your mind is often scattered across endless what-ifs and imagined battles. Repeating this inner command draws all energy back to the present moment, transforming fatigue into vitality. The simplicity of the method belies its power. In seconds, the mind, body, and spirit align. Your energy was never gone. It simply needed to be guided home. Nothing about you is broken. Tiredness is not permanent. Your energy is waiting, not lost, not diminished, simply trapped in thoughts, emotions, and unnoticed tension. Musashi's principles show the way to reclaim it: awareness, presence, strategic release, and alignment. Once reclaimed, energy flows naturally, effortlessly, like water returning to a riverbed. And in that flow, you discover strength you forgot you had, clarity that was buried beneath distraction, and the vitality to live fully here and now. As you reclaim your energy, notice the quiet strength growing within. Musashi's wisdom is clear. Fatigue is never permanent. It is a signal, a guide to awareness. Ask yourself, where is my energy flowing right now? Am I guarding it wisely? Every conscious choice, every intentional breath, every released thought restores vitality. Your life is a river of energy, waiting to flow fully. And if this journey resonates with you, take the next step, subscribe, share your reflections in the comments, and join the Flow Mind Path community where presence meets power and wisdom transforms into action.